Hey guys, it's me, Slugdog, here to bring you information on the newest patch. This time in a new season, patch 15.1. Everybody get excited. Riot has stated that this is gonna be the biggest year yet, and we're gonna get crazy things. We get upgraded new boots, a new objective, a new AP battle mage item, 4 new runes, and ugly summoner spells. So now that I've played quite a few games and have experienced this season, just like 20 to 50 games, I can give you guys all some information. The game's dog shit. It's the most snowballiest it's ever been, with games usually never lasting more than 25 minutes. Half the games you don't get to play with the upgraded boots because only one team gets it. The new AP battle mage item is incredibly niche and only works on like 2 champions. Swain and Silas stealing Swain ult. And also finally, there's only one actual fun rune in the game that they added, and it's pretty unnoticeable most of the time. Now I'm going to go in detail about the season and also later down the line how it affects Yorick, but let's focus on the 2 biggest things straight away. Calm and the new feats of strength system. Calm is the new big objective. It's a big scary eldritch being that spawns either top or bot depending which side of the map has more action. It spawns at 20 minutes in the game, pushing back Baron's default spawn now to 25 minutes. It also has 2 different forms based on how many kills in the game. If it's a slow paced game and very low action, so there's not much kills happening, it will be voracious, giving a revive that teleports you back to base, and instead of giving 300 gold and assist money towards the killer, it will only give 100 gold. It also gives the team a buff where if you kill the enemy, you get increased money. The other form, Ruinous Calm, occurs in high kill games, and the team that kills it gets a buff that ironically buffs other buffs. So big objectives like Grubs, Drag, and even Baron, they get their effects and stats increased by 25%. It also spawns a bunch of petals which give experience and adaptive force. Now that we covered Calm, I want to go over my problems with this new objective. The first issue I have with Calm is I just explained to you guys how it works, and everything I just explained feels overtly complicated. Having 2 different versions with different spawn factors while adding an entirely new kind of mechanic. Yes, I will get used to it and it is fresh, but it just feels convoluted for no reason, and feels complicated for the sake of, hey guys, look, it's something big and new and it's really crazy, and also it's new. Guys, it's new. Dragon, Baron and Grubs are perfect for implementations. They're nice and simple. Baron gives a big meaty buff that buffs minions to help push. Dragon gives a tiny buff, but if you get 4 dragons, you get a big buff. And Grubs gives you just extra damage to towers and little spermlings if you get lots of Grubs. Now Khan spawns roses randomly across the map, spawns top or bot depending on the kills, has 2 different versions which give completely different effects, and also it's pregnant. Now I have another question for you all about Khan. Which version do you guys think will spawn in your solo queue games? The one that has lots of kills, or the one that doesn't have many kills? Yeah, I think in a total of around 20 games played, I have only had 2 of them be the revive one. Now, I don't hate this. I understand the intention to make them that way to incentivize, a less powerful objective in already intense games, but also create something much more powerful in slower paced games. But my problem conceptually with this idea is that in those 2 games where you do play against the revive Khan, it just feels really awful to play against. It pretty much forces a situation where both teams have to fight each other for Khan, and whoever gets the free revive one will automatically win the game. The effect is simply too powerful, and it's such a big snowbally effect. Take for example this situation where my team was kinda winning already, and then we got the revive, and we pretty much just utilized it to completely snowball even harder and close off the game. And you know the funniest thing about Khan? You'd think this kind of a big objective that people would be all over it, but the reality is, if your team's not ahead or you have a weaker team fighting comp, a lot of times you don't even get the opportunity to fight for it and you just have to give it away. It feels really awful having to give such a big objective, especially since it's so powerful and it only helps the winning team rather than creating an intense fight. This also makes something like split pushing a lot less effective, because you'd rather try to desperately fight for Otacon than actually even split. The reward is simply so much better. Not even that, but now Nexus Towers respawn, so even if you get a really good push and say get 2 Nexus Towers, they'll just come back anyways. I have even gotten to feats of strength, which in my opinion are an incredibly awful system. The way feats of strengths work is the first team to complete 2 of these 3 tasks get enhanced boots and the ability to buy tier 3 boots. The tasks are first kill, first tower, or first 3 objectives. My problem with this is that all 3 of these tasks are incredibly different in difficulty to do. First blood is literally unbelievably easy to do, and because of that, invading, cheesing, doing really aggressive stuff early for jungler is incredibly rewarding. First tower is relatively simple, and I think it's fine because it has a little bit of difficulty and you're not doing this realistically in the first 10 minutes. 3 objectives, however, just takes way too long. Dragons take a lot of time to do and require a lot of people to complete early, and one thing you can do is just take 1 grub and now no teams can get an objective point for this task. These are all ridiculously weird to complete, and okay, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? But then you think about the concept of feats of strength. Similarly to Otacon, these feats of strength literally only rewards the winning team. The team that's snowballing and getting access to the first tower, first kill, and all these objectives don't get any less advantages. They're only encouraged with stronger boots and the ability to buy even stronger boots. Now, I will acknowledge the micro patch that they're planning to release, they're gonna nerf the boots a bit, but this still doesn't really address the problem. They're all still vastly more powerful than normal items, and I don't really like that. I've been through a lot of games of just early surrenders because trying to go against the winning team which gets access to these overpowered boots and also Otacon is just an unbelievable hill to go over. With that being said though, the boots are very good for Yorick at the very least. Upgraded plated steel caps, Swifties, Mercs are all amazing, and Lucidities. Oh my god, Lucidities is the dream. That's one of the only few good things I have to say about Yorick this patch, sadly. Yorick got treated really badly this patch. They changed teleport to instead make you go across the entire map instead of, you know, teleporting, which is pretty funny because it's more like a bike ride than it is a teleport, you know, more of a slow train. Now that's a problem because it makes your maiden and ghouls no longer teleport. Instead, they just run across the entire map very quickly, which is humorous until you realize that now they're going to get into fights and teleport flanks, skirmishes, literally 20 seconds late, which can very easily screw you over. This is a big bug and it'd be nice if Riot can fix it because it pretty much makes teleporting to help your team a lot weaker, teleport with super push angles a lot slower, and it just makes every teleport player in general worse. Thankfully, we got Axiom Arcanus to play around with on Yorick though. Axiom Arcanus gives 14% damage healing and shooting to your ult, which is essentially just a 14% increase in DPS for Maiden. This is quite a big amount, especially if you consider that it's not only just Maiden attacks, but also Maiden procs. It's kinda hard to see the power of Axiom Arcanus though. I think it actually is pretty decent, not bad, but we aren't able to see more of the numbers. It shows how much damage you deal to champions, and it's not bad, you know, it usually does an extra 500 to 200 damage, 2000 damage, and it does scale really nicely. But I would really like to see just how much damage it gives to Maiden over the course of the game, such as when I'm hitting minions, clearing camps, and I feel if that stat could be revealed, we can actually determine how good it is. But from current testing right now, it's alright. Running Scorch and Axiom Arcanus in lane feels pretty nice, though not having Biscuits or Bone Plating is obviously really awful in terms of surviving enemy damage. I highly recommend everyone to experiment with it because I think it could be very good, and tell me how it goes. I'm not going to make any conclusive comments about it yet because I have not played with it enough, but I will definitely continue and it's quite fun. Also, I've been asked a lot about items on Yorick this season, but like guys, they barely did any champion changes and no items have literally been added for Yorick. No, I'm not building this stupid penis item on Yorick. Now, should I get irrationally angry about the fact that people still ask me about Yorick builds even though Riot did absolutely nothing? Or the fact that I literally just made a video on a very solid Yorick build? Probably not. But I literally have the emotive control of a teenage girl, so if one more person asks me about builds, I will fucking kill myself. Here again are the Yorick builds in case you don't watch my streams or any recent videos. These are all amazing and really good. You can change out the boots depending on the game and go upgrade to Lucidities now if you get feats of strength. Do note though, I don't recommend Lucidities if you don't get feats of strength, so take that as you will. Runes are different, however. I have definitely found some optimizations and alternative pages that I like a lot more. So the first one is the standard Conquer of Demolish, the classic. I've explained it probably like 6 times last year and very recently, but Demolish is just really amazing for any Yorick playstyle where you get towers, and early plays, it's always gonna be a good rune no matter what. Bone plating is also really solid in early fights. Second wind is just fine to survive poke. This is just the classic standard page, nothing too special. The second page, however, I've started to go much more commonly with Approach Velocity and Biscuits. Approach Velocity is amazingly broken and synergizes with Yorick's E perfectly, giving you the same movement speed. This combines really well with tier 3 Bootula cities and is hilariously funny. Biscuits is pretty damn disgusting and insanely underrated too. They recently changed them to no longer give mana, but that doesn't really matter if you go Presence of Mind. In exchange for not giving permanent mana, it gives you permanent health now, which is really nice in Yorick. The Biscuit giving 12% of your missing health over a few seconds, while also giving 40 bonus max health instantly, is insanely overpowered for turning fights around. You can also combine this with drinking a pot to have 2 pots regenerating at the same time, as well as queuing for health with Conqueror on Yorick, and this just makes early game 1v2s or skirmish fights become incredibly easy. The fact that it gives you permanent health instead of mana now also just gives you tankiness later down the line, which is useful for literally any build. Ironically, this permanent health is more tankier than, Bone Plating or Second Wind, just the standard Conqueror Yorick page. Having these 2 insanely powerful runes make this my personal ideal rune page. I like the kill pressure of Approach Velocity, the clutch potential of Biscuits, and also just the scaling of general max health. Yes, it sucks not having Demolish and also Bone Plating for trades, but it's a trade-off I'm willing to give just for these 2 effects. The last rune page, yes, it has Conquer still because it really is that broken on Yorick, is the Axiom Arcanus page. Scorch is by far the most powerful rune in the sorcery page for Yorick. It gives you a really powerful burn effect on your ghouls, your E, your maiden every now and then, and it's just really strong early game and really easy to proc. Axiom Arcanus gives you the 14% increased damage ult, which level 6 onwards is very powerful. I've been going this page and I like it a lot. Usually both these runes give a pretty high amount of damage by the end of the game, but it definitely has issues with tankiness, especially in the early game, and Axiom Arcanus is essentially a useless rune if you don't have Maiden up or you're not level 6, so do note to play safer in the early game. With that being said, thank you all for watching this video. This is my first video of season 15 and the new year, and also my last video before I head off to Korea on the 16th. I'll be streaming all my games in Korea on twitch.tv/slogdogs, as well as uploading my gameplays from Korea, the really great games on the main channel, or the second channel, which you should also subscribe to. I've been frequently uploading there every few days. I'm not sure which one I'll upload to, but I'll see. Everybody, I really can't thank you all for the support. The last year was really rough for me, especially towards near the end of it. I apologize if I don't communicate or make as much content as before. I'm literally going through puberty too, so I'm like 6 times weaker than I used to be physically, and I also cried because I lost Danger Trinity twice. Thank you all, and also guys, if you guys are interested in a Korean vlog, a Korea vlog, I might do one because it sounds fun, but I'm not sure yet. Anyways, puppy dog getting out. After my Korea trip, I'll definitely do a Yorick